that is what creates a state of fear. We are never fearful if we are just in the present moment. What is there to fear? Welcome back to one's journey of unwinding the mind and, of course, your daily microdose. Now, tune in to the latest episode of One's Journey. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about forgiveness and healing. Healing in the matter of forgiveness, but healing in the matter in which we look at it today. Many of you may know one of the titles I have gone by is the Inner Child Guide, and a lot of my focus is inner child work. And at the beginning when I was doing that, sometimes it was about going back and digging into areas just because we knew they were traumatic. But over time, as I've progressed in my own healing journey and really understand that all we have is the present moment, that isn't necessary. It's actually not even helpful. Healing happens and forgiveness happens in the moment. And when we forgive or in the moment, in what we're experiencing today, right now, it heals the past. It heals the future because, in fact, all we truly do have is the present moment. I believe time is linear. It's all occurring at once. So if that is the case, literally everything is happening in this moment and the present is all we have. But the ego attempts to manipulate and sabotage our present by bringing in the past or the future to create fear, resentment, sadness, anger, hurt, all of that to cloud our judgment in the present moment. Truly, if you just forgive in the present moment with what you are experiencing or address what is happening in the present moment, it will heal all the past. It will change the future. And often we don't need to focus on some large traumatic event in our life because it is showing up now in a manner which that probably doesn't really, you wouldn't be able to tie the two together. And only till later, when we are able to reflect on that and feel that moment in our life that we felt was traumatic or whatever may be and feel a sense of peace and happiness is when we know we have actually moved through that and have healed it. That is something that I know along my journey I've had to come to the realization, and hopefully this helps you sooner. But truly, just focus on today. Focus on this moment and what choices you are making and what is requesting your forgiveness, your love at the level of the Holy Spirit and your understanding. And I promise you, you will notice that when you think of things in the past, they won't hold as much weight because you are practicing forgiveness at the level of the mind in the moment. Therefore, it is allowing that to happen all throughout the timeline because the timeline isn't like this, it is like this. Recently, I had a client. She came to me about 6 months ago and she requested that we work on a certain traumatic event in her life that didn't happen that long ago, actually. And I said to her, nah, we're not going to focus on that. And she trusted me, but you could tell she was apprehensive about it because she felt like that was really the thing holding her back in her life. First of all, we don't really know exactly what it is holding us back in our life, other than the fact that it was the initial separation. When we focus on a specific event in our life, then we're focusing on the smoke and mirrors that the ego has created to keep us from the true initial separation. But when we really aren't at that place yet of constantly remembering that or really haven't found that inner truth yet, what we can do is really focus on the here and now. What are we running into now? And there was different things in her life she was running into, such as not being fully honest with people she cared about, making decisions that didn't align with her values. We looked at them and we understood them and forgave them and chose differently. And this event that she originally came to me for, I don't think we ever actually talked about it. And just last week, she realized that she was at complete peace and forgiveness with that event in her life. which is just mind-blowing. But it's not when you understand that time is all happening at once, and that forgiveness, there is no level of hierarchy within forgiveness. There is no level of hierarchy within healing, and just the day-to-day things can impact so much because present moment is all we have. And when you are truly living in the present, you are living from the state of the Holy Spirit's belief system, because the ego's belief system is the one that uses the past and the future to impact your present moment and never allows you to actually be in the present moment. A level deeper of this actually is past lives. I'm not going to go into we need to discuss past lives or anything like that, because truly, again, we don't have to go back there. It has to do with the present moment. But recently, Patrick experienced interacting with someone that he felt this deep emotion towards, but he knew it was from a past life because it was like this deep understanding, and we're still unpacking that. But his ego immediately wanted to either create something now for the reason of why this feeling is valid now, or wanted him to go back and understand that past in order to validate the now. The ego is constantly trying to find validation and symbols. I have done another video on symbols to validate its feelings, when in fact what matters is understanding that those feelings can come up and have nothing to do with the moment, but stay in the present. How can you forgive it in the present moment and not allow the past to come in and cloud how you're feeling today, or the future to come in? Right now, I also have a woman that brings out this rage in me. I'll just be honest. I just stopped following her on Instagram for a period of time because I really am unsure what it is, other than I know it's not from the here and now. And I know the ego's trying to pull me back there. And the things I have attempted to do in the here and now haven't been working. So I'm taking a break from that, but I'm well aware that this is something far before this, and the ego's trying to make it about now. It's trying to impact my present by bringing in something from the past, or maybe even bringing something in from the future that doesn't actually matter now. I am continuously practicing forgiveness at the level of the mind, but also know when it's time for me to take a step back. Take a step back and really evaluate and just stay in the present. I hope today was helpful in understanding that it's not about going back and dredging up past lifetimes or traumatic events in your life. It's really just about practicing being in the here and now and forgiving in the here and now. Again, the ego does not want you in the present. The ego wants to cloud you from things from the past and cloud you from things from the future, because that is what creates fear. That is what creates a state of fear. We are never fearful if we are just in the present moment, right? What is there to fear? Unless literally there's a tiger chasing you, which, no, I take that back. Ultimately, that is past too, because if you had never heard a story of a tiger kills people and a tiger was chasing you, you probably wouldn't even be running, actually. You would probably just be sitting there waiting, because you don't have a past story that clouds your judgment in the moment. I want you to chew on that for a moment, because that's a really interesting concept. And actually, as I'm sharing it with you, I'm having some aha moments as well. But in fact, everything around us is based on past. It's based on stories we learned in the past. I only know this is a cell phone because of my past experience with it. So everything is based on the past. That's interesting. We will have to do another episode on that. I would love to hear your thoughts on some ideas of where you'd like that episode to go. But remember, stay in the present when it comes to your forgiveness and healing. We'll venture down this rabbit hole later about all the things and how they're just stories. Love you tons. Again, as always, remember you are worth it. Until next time, take care and have an amazing rest of your day.